Welcome to a new episode of After Happily Ever. I'm Tuks,
And I'm Pack.
and we show up here every week to talk about what happens in real life once the Happily Ever After banner rolls down. We'll talk about navigating through our lives and relationships, all of the work that goes on beneath the highlights. With a new topic every week, we hope to create a space for us all to connect.
So, Tooks, how's your week been?
How's it been, Pack? It's been cold and snowy and sleepy.
Well, this past week has been absurdly cold, you can say. It's been one of the coldest days you've ever experienced. I mean, the coldest day, as you remember, is the day you landed last year. But this has just been a string of 5, 6, 7 days in a row of just pure cold, ice, snow. It's been over a foot of snow in the past week.
I mean, it's been interesting because to get to work, I've had to go and drive in the snow myself, which has probably been my first time driving in snow in life as well. So a real learning curve. Kind of makes me feel accomplished. It's like, oh, on the coldest day of the year, well, second coldest day of the year, I was driving and then I went for a short walk outside. Am I crazy? Yes. Do I feel immortal? Maybe.
Did you ever think, being in India, you would actually take time and drive in the snow? Did you think that would actually happen?
Well, I mean, India has snow in different parts of the country, but considering that I've mostly grown up around the coast, no, never. Did I think I would voluntarily drive in the snow? No. Do I have to? Because this is the nature of where we're living in? Yes.
And you can see why I hate it so much. This is probably one of my reasons I hate winter the most. It is because of the snow and ice. It's just you can't go outside, and it sucks driving. Well, our street was not plowed for 4 days, 5 days.
Yep.
And we know how that went.
You mean me getting stuck in the snow? 6 random strangers coming to push the car. 6 random kind strangers coming to push the car from behind and one with a shovel in front? No, Packard, I have no idea how that went.
Yeah. Can't say... Well, first, when I heard this, I thought maybe it was just bad driving when you went into the snow.
Thanks, I love the trust and faith.
Well, you've had your license in America for 6, 7 months now.
Yeah, okay.
And you've never driven in snow, regardless of a foot to 2 feet of snow outside. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's made a mistake here and there, and that got her in a bad place. When I drove out and then immediately almost got stuck,
I laughed.
Oh, this is just the car with how short the car is compared to how much snow there is.
Yes. And you were like, why are you looking at me like that? It's like, because now you know that is truly bad.
Yes. There's so much loose snow out there that the car sinks into almost where the asphalt is. And between the tire tracks is just a foot of loose snow. It covers almost all the tires.
And again, to anyone who has not grown up around snow, I understand you. I truly believed that only Eskimos, I'm sorry, I just truly believed that very few human beings willingly manage to have habitation in such temperatures as well. I didn't think everyone was just like, oh yeah, I'm okay. I'm just everyone's slightly skidding on the interstate and that's okay. It didn't wear off. I didn't get into a crash, so that's fine. Did I see 10 crashes on my way over? Yeah, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, I drove smartly, which means, yes, I drove slower, and I made sure that I only skidded mildly, and I got to my destination in time. I mean, this is hazardous. It's hazardous driving, and especially where we live, it's just, well, it was a mess. I didn't go into work last week just because of how much snow there was, and I'll be driving on some back roads, and it'll just be a whiteout. And, I mean, I hate it. It is so... I don't know if annoying is the right term.
I'm annoyed by this really big winter storm.
Well, what I'm annoyed about the most is when the radar says it's not supposed to snow today, and we live so close to Lake Michigan that we get a lot of lake effect snow still coming over our way. And because of that, the radar will say nothing, and all of a sudden, there is a snow cell right over us. Like, what? And I can only see 400 meters, 500 meters when we drove to gym that one day.
Oh, God. But honestly, bless the gym.
Yeah.
How have we kept our sanity this week? The gym. Constantly and continuously. Before work, after work. Where do we go? We can't be outside. It hurts to be outside. Okay, I guess we're going to the gym.
Yeah, well, it's really nice that the gym is an area where, it's not only a gym, there's multiple things there. Yes, they have weightlifting, but then they also have an indoor track you can walk on, you can run on, so you can actually, I don't know, function as someone who's in an apartment. You can't really move around a whole lot. You can go to one room, or I gotta go to the second room, and if you're lucky enough, you might have a third room to walk in, which that's nothing. You might have 6 or 7 places to actually sit. And so the track's nice for that. You love the classes there.
I do.
And they also have a swimming pool where you can do laps if you're brave enough to get in during this sub-zero temperature.
And I am, because it feels great to assert dominance on the environment outside. It's like, I am swimming indoors while the world is freezing over.
Yes, and you know that if the second you step out from the pool, if you went straight to outside, you'd just be a frozen just block of ice.
I would. That's fine. We accept life. But I guess that's the thing. It's like this winter has been easier as compared to the last one, because last winter we weren't able to set up structures to make ourselves have these indoor activities or these spaces. Like, we didn't sign up to, we go to the Y now, which is incredibly affordable and great quality for what it is. But like last winter we had only this one room place. We didn't have a lot to do, and so I was quite miserable last winter.
Yeah, and it's so interesting that even though I don't think you experienced a stretch of 7 days this bad as of last year, it did feel easier because of that. Of getting some systems in place of where to go, what can we do during the day. That's not just at an old gym. We would go, I would run there for an hour, hour and a half, and then we would leave. There's no hanging out. There's no mental stimulation. We go to this gym, we physically exert ourselves, and then we're back in our 1-bedroom apartment. And it's, well, what do we do now? We can cook. We can, I don't know, try to spread out and do yoga if both of us fit. We can watch TV, read a book, but it's not really, it's not a whole lot of things to really stimulate yourself.
And also just seeing people walking outside, families, all of these other things, like in the gym has been really nice. Plus, we've been really strategic about like where we go get a coffee. We want to make sure we're able to see as many people and like be in places where it feels like human civilization is still thriving, despite how horrid it is outside.
Horrid.
Okay, well, we are blessed and lucky to have heating and shelter, and there's a lot going on in the world, but it is definitely, you would definitely become unalive if you went outside.
Yes. Well, at least starting today, it's no longer deadly temperatures, it's just frigid temperatures. So you're not going to die if you're outside for more than 30 minutes, so that's an improvement.
Yay.
I say that as I look outside to see 3-foot-long icicles off our balcony. Yes, only hazardous, no longer deadly. It's interesting that there are still pockets in the area that still have a sense of community. And I do agree that's been a pretty good part of us being able to function and actually have some enjoyment during this bad stretch of weather.
Yeah. It's also been just a learning curve for us to identify that as something that's important to us. We've had these conversations a lot this year about, like, the apartment we've chosen right now is in a really affordable neighborhood, great commute to work, all of the other things. And affordability was important to us. I had just come from a big city. There was so much going on. We wanted to be paying as limited as possible. But now we've recognized that, hey, we're understanding the importance of community a bit, and we're trying to identify where to find that.
Yeah. Not every apartment, when you leave the building itself and you go out to a major road, especially one that, oh, you can cross the street now. Oh, that car just blew a red light. Well, good thing I stopped because I would have gotten hit. Those type of things aren't always the most fun, you can say. But yeah, I didn't realize there were actually that level of community within the city itself, but because I never saw it. It's sort of isolated in that one neighborhood or those several neighborhoods to the east side, where buildings are actually walkable. And now a lot of these buildings were built in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and so they're all right next to each other, and they're all pretty historic homes, and so that leads to it being a wealthier community, and you just have large houses. But then because everything's so close, you actually have little pockets of, oh, here's a cafe here, here's a local farmer's market here, and you don't really get that anywhere else within the city itself. And so up until recently, where we started to explore that area, I didn't actually realize that was something we were missing out on. I thought it was, oh, we can spend less here or more here, but that's still spending more at the other, say, apartment or flat won't fix that community feel.
I understand. And that's the big thing, is like, you didn't know this city when we moved here, and so and neither did I. And that's what happens every time you move to a brand new city. Like when we were in Brighton, when we were in London, like all of these cities, as an external person, you're coming in, you're doing all of this house hunting, you're looking at reviews of, does this neighborhood have a lot of crime? Is this a safe neighborhood? But then there are all of these other elements beyond just community work that takes a little time. It takes you to interact with locals. Like our friends who are local introduced that neighborhood to us, and it takes more patience to explore and identify, oh, this bit is really important to me, and now I want to gravitate towards that. So I think that's a big element of what happens whenever you move to a new city as well.
It took me a pretty while to actually discover that, living here for 2 years and then having you come here. And it seemed like having you here was sort of the outside force to make me go explore more and actually crave it a bit, because I accepted that it was not here, and instead of trying to seek it out, like, okay, the areas I saw, it's all pretty similar to where we currently live right now. And like, what? This is just not the city for this. And I sort of accepted that. We would have to move to a different city to find this level of community, to find the level of, people enjoying life, that you can actually see and observe it, like we see at the Y, or we see in the east side of town now. And it's like, okay, well, I'll just wait until we up and move. And so it's hard for me to explain, but once we actually found that, it's made winter a lot easier.
And more hopeful.
Yes.
In some ways. I think it makes, because for both of us, we had this thing of, okay, we're here for a little bit. We want to work in different fields. We want to probably be in a different city. That was our intention. We were almost in this transitionary space that we just kept pushing to wait for life to get better, or for us to find better. And in the past couple of months, I'd say even when we've been hiking and exploring since, I'd say mid August, summer last year, we've gotten really good at being able to put ourselves in different pockets of the city and really recognize that, oh, there's great people everywhere, and we just need to find what goes with us and we're excited about.
And because of so much exploring we did throughout the year, it makes me feel that having the sense of community or being around others, especially in winter, is the most important time, at least for me. Because we enjoy outdoorsy stuff. Now, I don't enjoy outdoorsy stuff in the winter. I am not a fan of any type of winter sports. I am Bambi on skates. the one time I did ice skates, I go, great, well, I never want to do that again because I couldn't stand up for an hour. And then my friends go, do you want to do another hour? I go, absolutely not. Take me home. But we can go out, we can go hike, we can camp, we can go to the lake, we can do all these different things in the other 3 seasons. You can't actually do that in winter. I mean, if we did that this last week, we'd be dead.
Yes. I'm sure there is more for us to learn, but we will take time to get there. I don't think either of us also want to accept that we won't, like, have to learn winter sports now because it just feels like I'm just so scared of getting, like, skating and dying. I'm so scared I'm gonna fall. I don't even know how to roller skate, so skating on an ice rink, goodness, no.
Well, same here. Like I said, I don't have good balance, and a lot of things in winter require good balance. I mean, I went cross-country skiing one day last year, and it was fun. When I was on a flat surface, I enjoyed it because it was just me hiking in a trail for a little period of time and being able to walk without having wet socks. It was great. Now, what would happen is there would be a little hill you have to go down, and then I would fall. And then I would have to take a while to try to stand up because me trying to stand up on skis, it was just slip, slip, slip. I just want to stand.
Yeah.
Or trying to go up a hill, it was, I don't have good form. And so then it would just be so difficult. I mean, the first hill I actually went down, I had trouble hooking my skis on. So one of the workers there helped me get my boots on my ski. They said, okay, you good to go? And then there was a little baby hill that's going down. And as it started going down, I see something. And it was one of my skis that fell off my boot. And then I proceeded to fall down and roll down the hill. And then I'm covered in snow. And I stand up and go, well, I am 2 minutes into cross-country skiing. And I've already lost my ski. Now I have to figure out how to put it on because I wasn't able to before. And the worker didn't actually properly put it on. And so then my friend's up ahead going. He looks back. He doesn't see me. Then he comes back and he sees me with one ski in my hand trying to figure out how to do this.
Yeah. It's so funny also because I think as we grow older, it becomes harder to pick up new hobbies because we're just so conscious of the risks involved as well. I love hiking. I love bouldering and a lot of these outdoorsy activities. But when I was trying to even like skateboard with our friend Freddie, I was just so anxious because all I could think about was, okay, I'm going to fall, I'm going to sprain my ankle, that's fine, there'll be a medical bill involved, okay, but then what's going to happen? I'm going to have to drag myself to work while not having a functioning leg, and this is going to be miserable, and then I'm going to have to make myself soup. I just don't want to do this anymore.
Yes, I feel the same. Well, when I was skiing, there was, a little long hill was not steep. And you had to curve to the left a little. And at the top of the hill, there was a sign of just like, beware of trees.
Beware of trees.
Yes, because if you ski straight, you'll go into trees then.
Yes.
So you make sure you have to go left. And as someone who's never skied before, I really hope I can curve left. I really hope I can curve left. If I need, I'm just going to jump on the ground because I could see myself just going straight into some trees and getting hurt and fracturing something. And then it's like, oh, great. Well, what happened? I skied straight into some trees and
Yeah. But then that's also the cool thing is like when you get over that, I mean, this isn't a winter sport necessarily, but I got my driving license in the world the first time like over a year ago.
Oh, driving in the winter is a sport. Absolutely it is.
But like when I was learning for the driver's test and I'm like 25, it was really interesting because everyone around me from countries where they had to drive were just like, oh, I've been driving since I was 15. Like, I'm fine with this. Whereas I was just on the road thinking about all of the ifs and buts and whatnots and oh my god, my brain is so stressed and this is the hardest thing in the world. Fast forward 4 months when I got used to it. I was just like, okay, yeah, this is fine. You know, it just, like, I'm curious to see if a year down the line, both of us are just like, now we're really into winter sports. Is that possible? Yes, Is it also possible that we do it when we're scarred for life? Also, yes. So, I don't know.
And one of the things that's, well, interesting when you talk about learning to drive and having all those thoughts and actually having a license in America is, well, you can only do winter sports for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 months. And so the amount of repetitions you get for driving, it would take, I mean, I would have to maybe go skiing or ice skating every weekend or maybe multiple times a week to probably feel that comfortable, only for winter to end. So that, well, I guess you can go to an ice skating rink indoors.
Yeah. I see what you mean about that. But like we've established, there isn't much to do in the winter either. So we've established, sorry, that was a really loud laugh. We've established that there is probably not much else to do. So maybe next year that's what we've got to do every weekend. Just put on some skis.
Or maybe next year
we move to a different city.
Well, I was going to say, well, that involves it. I was going to say, wouldn't it be nice if we live in a city that does not have...
Sub-zero temperatures.
Not even that. I was just going to say that won't be in temperatures that will kill you in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That will not have a polar vortex where it is so far south of the North Pole that even if there is a polar vortex, it will not get to negative 30 Fahrenheit, negative 35 Celsius. Wouldn't that be nice if we could just still go outside and not worry about getting frostbite from trying to scrape your car off and get in it, and hopefully you're just huddling up in the car waiting for that hot air to finally blast instead of that cold air? Like, wouldn't that be nice?
We sound like we're partial to warm weather, Packard. Does that seem to be a thread in this conversation today?
Partial? Well, I also hate weather that's too warm.
Yes,
I'm the
do.
Goldilocks.
You're like, no, too much, too little. The sun's poisoning me. My eyes.
Okay, yes. I am pale, and so I have to be careful of strong sun, which comes out in the summer. That's mainly the reason why I hate very hot temperatures.
Yes.
Is because if the sun was not strong, I can be fine. I can deal with hot temperatures. I can't deal with, oh, I forgot to put on sunblock for 2 hours. Oh, now I'm sunburnt. Oh, now I can't move.
I wonder what would happen if you just put on the sunblock that your wife got for you and asked you if you wanted to put it.
Again, I forget sometimes, and you didn't ask me every hour. So
I got us 3 different kinds of sunblock that one day you got sun poisoned.
Yeah.
Goodness.
It was great. But still, I would take that over what the last few days have been here. Where, yes, it hurt to sleep. It actually hurt to sneeze. I could at least still function. I could still walk outside. Or I should say maybe waddle because of how much I was in pain, but at least of how cold it's been here, it's been a good learning experience, I would say, of things we need to have compared to wants. Because I think when we do look for our next place, even if it's in the same city, we're going to think about, well, what got us through winter? What got us through spring? What got us through the other seasons? And actually take that into account.
And it's really simple things, like when I signed up for the book club, like there are all of these tiny things that we need to have to fortify ourselves for seasons that don't favor us. And it doesn't matter which one, there's always different seasons. When I was back in India, it was always the summer. So it's like trying to identify what you can do that brings you joy in seasons that typically don't bring you as much of it, and trying to see if you can have a different perspective on it, really, because winter has forced you to slow down.
Yeah, unfortunately. It truly is the season to make you go slower. You can't go the same speed. Well, like driving, you physically can't. Oh, I guess you can, but that's not going to end well for you. As the numerous crashes I see on the interstate. Yeah, slow down there, bud. But it does make you slow down. It makes you you can't go outside a whole lot, so what do? You read. You might have book clubs or people over, more crafty type things. Or for us, it's going to the gym a whole lot. And no matter how much I enjoy running, I can only do so many laps on an indoor track before my brain just becomes numb. And I go, okay, I can't do this. I have to stop now. I can no longer take another left turn. This is not NASCAR. But yeah, it makes you, even if I want to move, I can't move to the extent of what I did in other seasons. And so you have to fill up that time somehow.
Yeah, and honestly, I wasn't sure how I would respond to it either, but I feel I feel stronger through it. I feel I'm enjoying the teas and the soups we've been making. I really enjoy showing up for certain kinds of like activities and classes that I've signed up for, and seeing all of these people brave the weather as well. Like on that second coldest day of the year, it was like a full workout class that I was in, and it was just really great to see everyone having like huddled through the outside and show up and talk about their day and talk about the week. And yeah, that's kind of nice to see as well.
A few points. First, you enjoy seeing other people in misery?
No. I enjoy seeing other people brave through the misery and come and access joy. Let me phrase it like that.
Okay, yeah. So, if I am facing misery, if I am facing pain, I enjoy other people being in the pain with me.
Of course, that's what solidarity is all about, babe.
Tuks 2026. Share my pain. Embrace my pain. But yeah, also talking about the soups, how do you build the soup? So the soup we made this morning and the soup we made last week, we chop up the veggies, it's very process oriented, and then at the very end of getting it prepped, you leave it on the stove, you leave it on the hob for 2, 3, 4 hours to just let it infuse. And it is a good contrast because when I think of winter cooking, I think of soups, stews, things that take a lot of time. When I think of summer cooking, I think of barbecue. Now, depending on the barbecue you do, a lot of the cooking I do is pretty quick on the grill. It might be chicken, brats, burgers, things like that can cook pretty quickly over the flame. And it's so, I guess I haven't thought about that dichotomy of even with the foods itself.
Yeah.
It's sort of, you have to slow down because, well, we're not going to be going out, or it's more fun to make certain soups or stews and have it cooked because, well, we're going to be around, and so then the house starts smelling like what's on the stove, and that's fun to have. And
even like the spices we're using, we're trying to have ones that warm our stomachs, whereas in the summer you're trying to have juices and cold sandwiches and salads, all of these things that are keeping you fresh and ready to go outside because there's so much to do, and also like cooling you down because it can get quite warm here as well. I do think that's interesting, and in a similar way, we have to be with each other a lot of that time during the day as well. So identifying how are we going to simmer together? Are we playing a video game? Are we trying a new hobby together? So that's been interesting to see as well.
Yeah, it has been. But it's been a pretty good learning experience. At least there's been a lot of reflecting back through this past week. At least I've done about, yes, this is one of the roughest winter weeks I've experienced, but also it was one of the easier weeks to get through and actually had time to occupy. And at the end of the day, I felt pretty fulfilled.
I agree. And I love seeing the growth from last winter. And seeing how I'm stronger and happier and better through it has been a good learning experience as well.
Yes, it has been, Tooks.
Yeah, well, is that all for today?
I think so. I think we've touched on, a lot about reflecting with winter, and, it's going to be another month and a half, 2 months of winter, but I feel pretty good going forward, and I guess brace through it together, share the pain and suffering.
Yeah, I mean, we've managed to get through a whole new podcast episode and talk about just the weather. Well, Bye, and see you all next week.